viewers, we are seeing access layer, in which we are going to see what is the difference between transient data and persistent data. Okay, so normally we will have the confusion, what is these two categories of data, right? So what is this transient data? It is like, it is a temporary data, right? And persistent data is a permanent data. Okay, how we can see with some examples, right? So in transient data, during the execution of the program, okay, how these transient data objects will be created. For example, if you want to do a small expression like a plus b minus c, okay, if you want to execute this particular expression, that is the time how this transient data object will be created. So it cannot be add together. What it will do, first a and b will be added, and it will be stored it into the temporary storage variable, take some t equal to a plus b, right? And then t minus c will be done. Okay, so for that it have transient data objects. Okay, so that is for storing the value in the temporary variable t, right? So that is how the transient data object will be created automatically during the runtime, right? So similarly, when you are declaring the variable a and b as an integer, int a and int b, okay, for every execution time, okay, it will be like variable, right? The value will not be as it is. Okay, every time it will change, okay, for different execution of integer a and b, right? So that is the time the temporary data object have to be created, right? And similarly, global variables, okay, so that is also sometimes the variables will be declared globally, and the it will be accessed by the functions, okay, the variable, okay, which is declared globally. Okay, so that is the time also the transient data object to be created to do the process, right? And finally, in swapping the value, right? So for example, if a equal to b and b equal to a, okay, if you want to swap the variable, okay, so that is the time again the transient data object to be created to do the swapping process, right? So these are all the things about the transient data. The next category is persistent data. Okay, what is this persistent data? As I told you, it is a permanent data. Okay, so after this is not like transition data. It will be, these objects will be created during the runtime, but this will be permanently stored data. Okay, so for example, for file system or the database management system, either we are storing the information in the form of a row and column, okay, in a table, right, format, and it will be stored permanently. So whenever the user want to access the information from the database management system, so they will it will refer only the persistent data. Okay, so for that we have to create the permanent data objects. Okay, that is called the persistent data objects. Okay, so I hope you understood about the difference between transient data and persistent data. Okay, all the best.